Imagine a room that has been sealed away in darkness for years. The air is stale, the dust is suspended in the stillness, and your eyes have completely adjusted to the gloom. Then suddenly, someone throws open the blinds. Midday sun violently floods the space. Your first instinct in that moment isn't gratitude, it's pain. You squint, shield your face, and take a step back. The light hurts because it instantly exposes a thick layer of dust and decay that the darkness was so good at hiding. We spend a lot of our lives claiming that we want the truth, that we value transparency and authenticity. But our psychological reality operates differently. Our ego is an expert architect, and it builds rooms in the dark. In those shadows, we stash away the things we refuse to deal with, our twisted intentions, the deep wounds we leave unhealed, the resentments we quietly feed, and that lingering, heavy sense of inadequacy that follows us around. Keeping those things hidden requires constant effort. We start operating entirely on the defensive, calculating every word in an argument with our spouse, guarding our actions at work, and filtering ourselves with our friends, all to ensure no one sees the structural cracks in our foundation. We trade the possibility of genuine connection for the fragile illusion that as long as we stay in the shadows, we have everything perfectly under control. Then Christ steps into the middle of our personal history. He presents an absolute truth, entirely without filters or masks. Standing in front of that unblinking reality, the ego begins to tremble. Our deepest survival instinct tells us that if God flips the switch and actually sees the chaos we've been hiding, we will be destroyed. We assume absolute truth leads directly to a final verdict. But the historical record shatters that logic. Here, in the text of John's Gospel, Jesus explicitly clarifies his intent. If anyone hears my words and does not keep them, I do not judge him, for I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world. This light serves one goal: rescue. Its appearance signals the start of a recovery process, not the reading of a sentence. There is a massive difference between the spotlight of a police helicopter trying to corner a suspect and the flashlight of a rescue team moving through a collapsed building. The rescue team's beam still cuts through the darkness. It still illuminates your wreckage, but it serves to map the exact route out of your own prison. Feeling completely exposed is the mandatory first step of a rescue operation. In 14th century Siena, one woman tested this dynamic to its limit. St. Catherine of Siena did the opposite of our natural survival instinct. When faced with the scorching reality of the divine, she refused to run back into the darkness. Instead, she allowed that light to penetrate her deepest, most hidden zones until the protective walls of her own ego were gone. This total exposure gave her a unique form of power. Because she no longer had a reputation to protect or secrets to hide, she could not be shamed into silence or manipulated by the threat of loss. This made her a force of nature, capable of walking into the halls of power to advise popes and shake a divided church. Catherine proved that when you stop protecting your shadows, you achieve a state of invulnerability. If you have nothing left to hide, the world has nothing left to use against you. Tomorrow morning, you will face this choice. It will happen during an argument with your partner, a tense meeting at work, or a moment of doubt in the mirror. Will you retreat into the safety of the penumbra, hiding your vulnerability behind an excuse? Or will you take the step forward? Stepping into the light means saying, "I made a mistake," or "forgive me." It dismantles your defenses, like forcing your eyes open against the sun. We often prefer the safety of our shadows over the risk of being healed. The dark is safe, but in the dark, nothing can grow. The light does not arrive to point out your misery. It arrives to pull you out of it.